I have an opinion on this for sure, and I'm gonna keep it simple. Hi guys.
Hey,
We're doing good. A little nervous, but excited.
same.
Same.
Keeping it real, you know? What was the first media portrayal of LGBT people you saw?
Looking back now, a lot of Disney villains were really queer-coded. Like Ursula specifically read very queer. That or Lucas Grabeel from High School Musical.
One actor in particular that I really feel is destroying the boundaries and the stereotypes when it comes to trans people in general. It's actually an actor that I look up to, Elliot Fletcher, who's on the show The Fosters.
I'm transgender. I can't really speak for the whole LGBT community, but I do find that a lot of the representation was very generic and very stereotypical. Trans people were portrayed a certain way, very dramatic, a lot of makeup, where they're either murdered, killed, or they're psychotic. It's different now, for sure, I would say, for the LGB, but the T still needs a lot of work.
Growing up, did you feel represented in the media? Personally, I didn't really feel represented in the media. I'm an Asian gay cis man, and so I didn't see myself in narratives being told. I can't say I've even yet felt represented in Western media even now. There's an element of racialization with the Asianness. You are told to be a model minority that comes with a compulsory heteronormativity, and then also belong to a queer culture that looks at the color of your skin and says, this is not what I want to see. This is not what I want to date. This is not what I want to, like who I want to sleep with. Or I will only sleep with you because of the color of your skin, the way that you look, the way that you are presented. These are things that I feel like could be explored within a show or a movie.
I want to see more happy stories. I just want a happy ending, just like every other love story, every other romance, rom-com that we see.
Is the LGBTQ experience accurately represented in mainstream media today? We're halfway there. I never see any representation where there's a story being told about a trans man who is also bisexual or gay. It would be nice to be able to see the split between sexuality and gender being covered in media.
I feel like there's a misconception that sexuality is transness, but that's not true. That's something that we're really desperately missing, because then you get straight men that are really confused as to why they're attracted or want to date a trans woman, but that's unfair to the trans woman to have to hold their hand.
I constantly have to explain that I'm still straight, I'm not gay. People can understand that a straight male can fall in love with a transgender woman and that it is normal.
Have tropes or stereotypes of queer people in media and culture influenced how you behave or live your life?
When I first came out, I remember just seeing so many stories about trans men that just didn't pass, and that's what they would just always say. If they didn't pass, then they would just be harassed. That scared me completely. So I remember when I first started my transition, I was overly obsessed with passing. 5 years later, after I've been on testosterone for 3 years and I just got my top surgery in June, I literally now I really wish that I never really even gave a second thought to those stereotypes and things that I heard online.
As a gay Asian person, I felt a lot of invisibility. There's a lot of invisibility of queer people of color in media. The trope that I want to address is that gayness equates to whiteness. The invisibility of my queer identity within the media shaped me in a way where I felt like when I went to gay spaces, I didn't belong.
Sorry, this just made me think about a lot of things, sorry. The stereotypes in media are skewed in a way that there's a pressure to pass. And it makes it very scary to navigate your life because you never feel like you belong. You never feel like you are pretty or you're enough and you're okay. No matter what you do, you're just gonna be another trans person. Like at the end of the day, I want to be me, a person, a human being, and not just another trans person.
Has the impact of social media and online media platforms positively or negatively impacted queer representation?
In a way, it kind of levels the playing field. There is an enticing feeling of opportunity and potential that even if you've been hidden your entire life, that you could be heard, seen, and understood. Those are the spaces where we can finally see people that we've never seen before, hear the stories we've never heard before, and see that these people are human and have days where they feel great and days where they feel down. There's a lot of beauty because it's those people representing themselves rather than Hollywood or people in power representing them how they think that they should be portrayed.
I know for me, coming out recently, I wouldn't be in a good mental health space if I didn't have the support and optimism from the people that I've met on social media.
I am definitely split right down the playing field when it comes to social media. I know for a fact there was so many YouTubers out there that I would watch just because I had no idea how to come out. And I was very stressed, and I'm pretty sure that that's something that a lot of trans people share when they come out, is they don't know how to do it, they don't know how to word it, and they don't know the different ways on how to come out. However, there's a lot of cis people who unfortunately feel the need to go and harass trans people online. And that's something where a lot of people end up making really hurtful videos doing. And I know that I've unfortunately ran into a few of those while scrolling on my YouTube.
From Brokeback Mountain, Love Simon, Call Me By Your Name,
Milk, Carol, The Danish Girl, and Moonlight.
Some of the most iconic queer roles have been played by actors that are straight or cisgender people.
Should straight actors be cast in queer roles?
Should cis actors be cast in trans roles?
I have an opinion on this for sure, and I'm gonna keep it simple. Straight people can't be queer, so it doesn't really make sense for straight people to be casted in queer roles, whereas a queer person, like a trans person, can be straight.
I think it depends. People that are not trans, I really feel like it's not a good idea for them to be playing trans characters. Trans people have lived the experiences. They know more than anybody what these characters have gone through. My acting coaches have told me that there are a lot more movies that are being casted now that are just looking specifically for trans actors for those roles.
The problem with having straight men play gay roles is that it just feeds into negative ideology in the queer community of lusting after straight acting men. Maybe there's space for me as a gay person to fall in love with them or have a crush on them, and maybe they'll reciprocate one day. And when you have straight actors playing gay characters, it kind of blurs that line, because then you're like, well, Timothy Chalamet is this like soft, kind of could be gay kind of dude. Maybe there's a chance, but as a queer community or as a gay community, people desire straight acting men, masculine men. Casting straight men in those roles just as subtext tells an audience that yes, you should. And again, places straight men at the top of the pyramid yet again in a community that they have no place being. To the person in the middle, please remove the blurred barriers to your left and right.
Hello.
Hi.
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 So I'm Jamie. I have 2 dogs. I'm engaged. Yeah, that's me.
I am Sam. I'm not engaged, but I'm so stoked and psyched that your ring is huge and beautiful. And it's just like actually makes my heart warm a little bit, because earlier you were talking about seeing stories of like the everyday life and just like falling in love, and now seeing that you are in love, I feel like that's such like a beautiful, like for me in my head, I'm like full circle moment. Makes sense that you would
No,
want
you're
to.
gonna make me cry.
No, but like makes sense that you would want to see it on screen when you felt it.
I do.
Hey guys, I'm Adam. I love music. I've been dancing since I was old enough to walk. I've danced every single class of genre of dance you could think of, but hip hop's my favorite. Nice to meet
Aw.
you guys.
I feel very lucky to have talked to both of you today, and I don't want to get emotional, but it feels really empowering. To be even sitting here feels like such a big and special moment for me that, I don't know, I just feel like I'm living in a dream.
I appreciate that both of you, in your own ways, are telling your stories and are making yourself seen and are trying to push an industry that hasn't accepted you.
I love that.